The Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are a whopping 8.5-point favorite in this game at home, of course, because they are the number 1 seed. So they will be hosting the Houston Texans in this game. What say you?
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens been sitting on ice for a couple weeks, which can be good or bad. It could be good in the sense of, okay, we got some guys that we need to, rest up. They need to heal for injury purposes to get better, get prepared. But for other purposes, it's like, okay, we had some momentum.
That was hot.
We had some momentum, and that momentum stopped. We haven't played for 2.5, 3 weeks, so it's like, all right, now we got to get that motor going. And now we are playing against a hot Houston Texans team who has a lot of juice right now. Yeah. They are juiced up. They got
for a big win.
Huge win at home versus the Cleveland Browns. Now they're taking their talents on the road up to Baltimore, which is not going to be an easy, battle for them. But I must say, they will be able to compete against Baltimore. The way C.J. Stroud has been playing offensively, throwing the ball, been protecting the football all season, hasn't turned the ball over a lot. For somebody, especially a rookie in his first year, to throw the ball as much as he's thrown it, to not turn the ball over.
Impressive.
Very, very impressive, especially getting a first playoff win. That defense has been stepping up, obviously, as we've seen. Had 2 pick sixes against the Cleveland Browns at home. They've been playing very well all season, right? They haven't been a top-of-the-pack defense. They've been kind of middle-of-the-pack defense, but they've been picking their spots and showing impact. But for this one, I do think Baltimore comes out and win. Lamar Jackson, I'm putting all my chips in Lamar Jackson's basket, man. I think he really wants this. I think this is probably the best opportunity that he's going to have to get to the Super Bowl, and I think he takes advantage of it, puts the team on his back, and get this job done. So I'm taking taking the Baltimore Ravens at home to win this game.
Okay. Last week, I chose the Cleveland Browns over the Texans for the reasoning of the defense
sold me on them boys too.
For the reason of the defense being better than the Texans defense. Now, the counterpunch to that was the Texans defense showed up, especially in the second half, in particular of that Cleveland game. And they played very well, and they were at home in that game. Now, this one they on the road, different environment. And that Ravens defense later in the season in particular has been very dominant.
Stout.
They were dominant so much so even against a stacked 49ers offense, they were dominant.
Healthy 49ers offense.
Healthy 49ers offense also.
At home.
Versus Cleveland, one thing I was thinking about as I recount everything in retrospect, of course, when they played the Jets, they had a bit of a shootout.
They did.
They had a bit of a shootout in the beginning of that game.
That's concerning.
And I think they won out in that game because their offense was better than the Jets' offense, which isn't saying much, but their offense was better from top to bottom than the Jets' offense. And
they gave up like 20-some points.
Right, but they gave up a lot of points
to the Jets offense, who's been struggling all season.
Which they shouldn't have given up that many points to the Jets offense.
In the game for them to clinch to go to the playoffs.
Right.
That should have been a red flag for us.
Right, but they won that game so convincingly, especially in the second half. It's like, okay, they're giving up this. They're going back and forth in the shootout. And, at some point in time, you expect the defense to tighten up the game plan to kind of switch in the second half. They lock it down. That's pretty much what they did against the Jets. However, that shit didn't work against the Texans. C.J. Stroud was too good. They didn't show up. C.J. Stroud was too good. Nico Collins was too good.
Yeah.
And they ran a really balanced and well-distributed offense. Dalton Schultz had receptions. All those guys really came to play. However, I don't see that happening with the Ravens at home. Now, we were stunned in multiple games.
Yeah.
But I don't see that happening with the Ravens. So, for that reason, I'm going to go with the Ravens. I do think that's a fuck ton of points, though.
I do agree. the way is
the way they played,
the way that Houston could score offensively, I do think that might be a lot of points. Yeah, agreed.
And then the rest, that might a couple of these linemen, man, they at home eating hamburgers and chicken sandwiches.
It might take
Baltimore
Baltimore
them a little bit of time.
Might take them 2 quarters to get rolling. Yeah.
So hopefully Houston doesn't come out there and cook like they cooked on Cleveland at the beginning of the game, but I think it's going to take them a little bit of time to get some rhythm going since they've been so well rested with the offense, especially. So I don't necessarily like 8.5, but I do like the Ravens to win this game. I'll say that.
I agree, man. I agree. And then my boy, number 14 on the Ravens. Whoo. What's his damn name? Forgot his name.
What, Hamilton?
Kyle Hamilton. Yeah, he should be playing. He got some time to rest. He should be ready to go. He covers a lot of field.
Boost.
That's a big pick. That's a big player to be in the game.
The boy is everywhere. He's like air out there.
Yeah, so. He ain't messing around. So, but CJ is gonna make them boys work because CJ been throwing that pill across the field, throwing it deep down the field. Not afraid to take shots.
It wherever. He's making every pass.
Not afraid to take shots. He'll throw that thing down the field first play, and we've seen that.
You usually don't see a rookie making every pass like that. So like I said. Or like we said, highly impressive how he's been performing. He's just going against a defense that's also highly impressive. So we're going to see how it balances out, man. We're going to see how it shakes out. They showed us something last weekend for sure. So I'm not going to downplay them too much. I just think the Ravens are that good.
Yeah.